Here's an easy weeknight stir fry. Xiang pork slivers with broccoli and mushrooms. You've got sambal, about a cup of mushrooms. I'm a little shy there. Broccoli, cut up. Pork cut into really fine slivers. Green onions, separated whites and greens, and garlic and ginger. And marinate the pork with some salt, about a quarter teaspoon. A teaspoon of soy sauce, maybe that was a little bit more, like a teaspoon and a half. Tablespoon of Shaoxing rice wine vinegar. There's some cornstarch. And a splash of water. Now mix that all together so that it all coats the pork well. You shouldn't see any cornstarch bits left. It should all have been sort of dissolved by the time you're done stirring it. Now I blanch my broccoli here for about a minute or so. That way you don't have to cook it too long when you're stir frying. This is the kind of dish that if you do your prep well in advance and get everything chopped up and in order, then everything goes really fast. I think the most time you spend is just on prep, because once you get down to cooking, it goes real fast, as it should. And once you've fished out all of those pieces of broccoli, go ahead and run it under cold water a few times until it doesn't feel warm anymore, because you don't want it to keep cooking and getting softer and softer. You want it to maintain a certain amount of firmness and bite. Yeah, it looks good. Now making sauce. So there's sugar, some salt, some more cornstarch. And this sauce is going to go in at the end. There's some a little soy sauce and then some Chinese black vinegar. And if you have it, a little crystallized umami. And finally add about 3 tablespoons of hot water or hot chicken stock and stir that all together. Heat up your wok, add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. I used canola. Then add your marinated pork. And give that a good stir fry until it doesn't have any more pink. You don't need to cook it through all the way just yet, just so it turns that sort of opaque white, gray, tan white sort of color. And then once that's looking like it should, then you can push it off to the side to make room for some of the other ingredients. You can just take it all out and then reintroduce it later, but I just, for ease and time, I just push it off to the side where it's not really cooking much. And then just add another maybe teaspoon of oil before you add in your your sambal chili paste, and get that going and fragrant. And then add, after that is really smelling robust, then you can go ahead and add your ginger, garlic, and the white parts of the green onion. Mix that in and give that about 30 seconds to start smelling really fragrant, and it makes sure it loses that sort of raw pungency before you incorporate that with all the pork. And throw in the mushrooms. See, I would have used more here, but I only had a little bit left. And stir fry those, cook those for about a minute or so. Throw in your broccoli. Toss that around. Now mine created quite a bit of liquid, more than I wanted, so I cooked that off for a little while before I added my sauce. So dump that sauce in there, and the cornstarch in it will make the make it come together real quick and thicken up pretty quickly. So when you get that to the consistency you want, then you can stop, turn the heat off, and drizzle in some sesame oil. Doesn't take much. Sesame oil is really strong, so like I use maybe a half a teaspoon. And once that's coated everything, bring it over to your bowl or your plate, dump it in, admire its beauty, and then finish up with some sliced with the green parts of the scallion. And there you go. Enjoy.